Alright, so we're working with law of cosines today. Here's a first example. We want to solve a triangle, which means find all the things that we don't know. Okay? So they tell us that A is 5 inches, B is 9 inches, and gamma, basically our angle C, is 115 degrees. Okay, so they do use, and you'll see in some of the examples and practice assignment today, alpha is just A, beta is B, gamma is C. Okay, and alpha and beta look like A and B, gamma doesn't look like C. So just kind of know that's how we're going to do them. And I'm just going to use A, B, and C. I think it's a little simpler. So first, just sketch yourself a little triangle. I've got one on here, and I've kind of put the labels in. So notice we use caps for our angles, and then the sides are going to be represented with lowercase, just to distinguish those. So that is important. We kind of keep them straight. So let's see what we know. Excuse me. So angle, or rather side A is 5 inches. Let me find my pen here. So this is 5 inches. Side B is 9 inches. Okay, and we know this angle right here is 115 degrees. So notice we've got side, angle, side. So that's why we can use law of cosines. It's going to be appropriate here. So let's see which one of these equations we want to know. And let's go ahead and figure out side C first of all. Okay, let's figure out side C. Well, this third equation looks like it's going to be appropriate. So it gives C squared. So side C is these sides, which we know, A and B and angle C. Hey, we know all those. So this is going to be the first equation that we'll use. So let's plug things in. Let me just come down here. So C squared, which we don't know of course, is A squared, so 5 squared plus B squared minus 2 times A times B, so 5 times 9 times the cosine of 115 degrees. Hey, not too bad. And then of course to get C, we're going to do the square root of that whole thing. Let me bring my calculator up. Let's go ahead and plug things in. I'd encourage you, plug it in there on your calculator as well. And so let's run through. So 5 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 5 times 9 times cosine of 115. Now I'm in degree mode. I already checked. In fact, I'll just go show you. So make sure you're in degree mode for this. And hit enter. And we get 144. Now we're going to do the square root of that, remember. So let's do square root of that answer, because that was C squared. And so it's about 12.001. Well, I'm not going to write an answer out to the thousandths place, and these are just inches. That would be a little bit ridiculous. So let's go ahead and just come back here and write it. So side C is about, or approximately, 12 inches. Okay, so that's what we just figured out. So now we know this side. Now we can go to either one of these angles. It really doesn't matter which one we do. And so let's just do angle A. Okay. Let me go ahead and minimize that calculator. So angle A, which equation am I going to use? Well, I've got to use this one because it's the only one with angle A in it. Now if I wanted angle B, I'd use this equation. Does that kind of make sense, what you look for there? So we're going to solve this one, and let's go ahead and plug in everything that we know, and then we'll rearrange. In fact, let's do this first. Let's get this by itself, and then let's plug stuff in. Okay, let me just kind of show you. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. And remember, we're trying to get this part right here by itself. So let's isolate it. So we're going to subtract these over. So A squared minus B squared minus C squared equals negative 2BC cosine A. And now I'm going to divide this over by the other side. So over negative 2BC, that would equal cosine of A. So cosine A equals all this stuff. And then here's where an inverse trig function is going to come in. We're going to do the arc cosine. That's how we're going to get a by itself. So let's plug things in here. So let me set it up this way. So cosine a equals a squared. Well, a squared, of course, is 5 squared minus b squared. B is 9. So 9 squared minus c squared. And that's all over negative 2 times b, which is 9, times c, which is 12. Okay? So again, let me bring my calculator up. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Let me just come over here to the other side so we can see what we're doing. And I'll go ahead and just put it like a fraction so it kind of looks like what we've got written down. So 5 squared, of course that's just 25, but I'll just plug it in here. Minus 9 squared minus 12 squared, so that's our numerator, over negative 2 times 9 times 12. Alright, that all equals 25 27ths. 25 27ths. So in fact, let me come back to that. So cosine A equals 25 27ths. Well, I want to figure out what A is. So I'm going to do the arc cosine of both sides. So A equals the arc cosine of 25 27ths. So let's go ahead and plug it in. So we're going to use an inverse function. So not the cosine. Let's do the second cosine. So that's the arc cosine of 25 27ths. Hey, it's about 22.19 degrees. Let's just maybe round one decimal place there. I think is pretty good. So we've got angle A is about 22.2 degrees. Okay? Now, I know angle C, I know angle A. To get angle B, all I have to do is subtract. So we know this relationship. So they all add up to 180. So 180 minus 115 minus 22.2, and that's about 42.8. 42.8. So angle B we just figured out is about 42.8, and side C we decided was about 12 inches. Let's show our units because they gave us units there. So that's a little bit longer example because we had to solve the entire thing. A lot of these examples you'll just find like one piece. But having an example like this under our belts, we should be in good shape. We can figure out anything.